Shalom, I'm Rav Leo and I'm here to transform your day. Today's topic is compassion on animals. Now, Jews are meant to be compassionate people. But where do we see this compassion when it comes to animals? After all, we have animal sacrifices and we have permission to eat meat. And there are other religions that are vegetarian and where they're forbidden to even step on insects. So in what way can we claim to be compassionate and compared to those other religions? Well, Rav Kook points out that when the Torah wants to talk about the need not to eat milk and meat together, it uses a very specific language. It says, don't cook a kid, a baby goat, in its mother's milk. And it says it 3 times, and we learn from that not to cook, not to eat, and not to sell food which is milk and meat together. And yet, says Rav Kook, the Torah didn't need to use that language. It could have said much more specifically, don't cook, don't sell, and don't eat milk and meat together. And we would have understood everything, and it would have been much more succinct. So why the repetition? Why the importance of this phrase, don't eat a kid in its mother's milk? And Rav Kook says it's to teach us sensitivity. You see, that kid that we're eating was alive at one point. And when it was alive, it gained sustenance and life from its mother's milk, just in the same way that we, when we were kids, derived sustenance and life from our mother's milk. And therefore, the Torah is teaching us to be compassionate and to feel for these animals. Even though we're permitted to eat them in some way with many different rules and regulations, we should still think about the sadness that an animal had to die in order for us to gain the sustenance that we need. And the rabbis take this even further. You see, the rabbis say that we can't even use pots and pans, cutlery, crockery for milk and for meat. We have to have separate sets of each of these. And we have to wait a number of hours between meals before we can have milk after meat. Since we spend so much of our time deriving pleasure from food, the Torah has given us these very detailed rules about how to separate milk and meat in order that we can feel compassion to animals and think about this compassion on a regular basis throughout the day. And that, of course, should have an impact on us to be more compassionate, not just to other animals that are a lower life form to us, but to other human beings who are equal in importance to us. Have a great day.